Twitter is one of the most popular social media these days, and to be honest, it can get quite toxic. But why is it so? There are multiple news articles related to this, like this one, why you should quit Twitter. Or like this one, Twitter is so toxic that Amnesty International is enlisting a troll patrol to help police it. And many more, like this post on the subreddit Unpopular Opinions. Twitter is the most toxic shithole on the internet. This goes for everything on that website. People just dogpile each other and attack each other all the time. For anyone who must have used Twitter, this must be kind of familiar. And to be honest, it is quite true. But the main question here is why? Why do people come out to be so rude when they must be much nicer in their real lives? Well, the thing is that people are generally much more rude on internet than they are in the real life. And this goes for everything on the internet. Now, this is probably due to most of the communication is non-verbal. With the absence of body language, eye contact, language patterns, speech tone, our minds are left to sort through the uncertain. It doesn't know how to react to. It doesn't know what the other person in what way is he trying to convey this message to you. The lack of inhibition may also be connected to a physical distance from the people to whom comments are directed. Turns out, the closer physical proximity you have to someone, the less likely you are to be mean-spirited. Like this study in which the contestants were in a game, and it shows that the contestants were much less likely to vote off a contestant standing next to them than the one standing further away. Similarly, you are much less likely to be rude to a person who is just standing next to you than the one on the Twitter right all across the world. Now, if Twitter is so toxic, the question comes that why do we use Twitter in the first place? Well, this article from the Buffer explains this quite well. It's just like a rat pushing a lever and he gets rewarded for that, but in a very unpredictable way. Now, in a hope to get a reward, the rat keeps on pushing the lever. At many times he may not get anything out of that, but once in a while he will get rewarded with a treat. Now that is enough for him to keep on driving and pressing the lever again and again until he gets something. Now the same happens on Twitter. When you take the phone out of your pocket, you scroll through the post, you are pressing the lever, but you are not getting rewarded every time. But when you come across a great post, well, again, you get rewarded for that, and this drives you to keep on scrolling more and more. The same reward is what you get when someone retweets your tweet, likes your tweet, or get a comment. You get a notification, and that is a reward for you. This gives you that dopamine hit that keeps you driving into this. And according to this blog post by Lina Olmsted, well, there are different psychological phenomena related to this, like the one, cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance refers to a situation when there are dissonant beliefs. When these conflicting beliefs arise, one feels psychological discomfort. In simple language, like when you come across a tweet or a post on Twitter, you find that it is not very agreeable or very much in order with your views. So in order to check whether you are right, and in order to decrease your disagreement with it, you just click on the post and read more and more about it so that you get more comfortable with that post. And there is one more, norming. Norming is the process of constructing norms, standards that people should follow. With your tweets, you can establish something that is usual, standard, or something for a specific population. Now, why does this work? If a tweet brings attention, like 30 terrible pieces of social media advice you should ignore, you will click on that right away. They will likely click on the link to learn more about what they should really be doing. But this leads to the question that why do people start cussing each other when they don't match their beliefs? Now there is something more which comes in, which is your followers. Now why would you follow someone on Twitter? Well, let's look at this research by Georgia Tech and Michigan. Now they studied the factors involved in the following. The study looked at more than 500 Twitter users and 500,000 of their tweets and analyzed follower count over a 15-month period, one of the longest time frames you'll ever see in a study. To be fair, if there is any reason why you would follow someone on Twitter, they accounted for it. The factors they came up with boil down to three main factors: social behavior, message content, and social network structure. Now, the factor which came at top in the follower growth was the network overlap, which is how similar are the people you follow and the person you follow follows, which means how similar you both are. Now, the follower growth also showed negative behaviors with factors such as @mentions, negativity, and hashtags. So, if you want more followers, just tone down the use of them a little, which means that you won't probably follow the people who you don't like or the people who are more rude to you, which is negativity. So similar people with similar views unite on Twitter, and they are negatively affected by the people who don't share the similar views. So in a debate, this happens: you support the people who are like you and you don't to the people who aren't like you. So when you get too much deep into the debate, they share the level of toxicity, which is not very good. So people get rude over internet because it's very easy to say something on internet to someone which you won't ever say to a person in a real life face-to-face interaction. So it's pretty easy. But here's an unexpected consequence of this, because rudeness affects our health negatively. When you come across these lobby snarky comments on the internet, it affects in not a quite good way, because rudeness is like a neurotoxin, a poisonous substance which negatively affects your health. So because of the social media, our exposure to the rudeness has nearly doubled in time. Earlier, we were only exposed to rudeness in a face-to-face interaction while you were at work, at your office, or when you were outside. But now, on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, all of these affect your health negatively. Studies have also shown that there are gender differences in rudeness. Like when men just go rude on internet, they are termed as driven, aggressive, determined. But when women go rude over internet, it is seen as a very bad thing. Women understand that people, they don't want to be labeled like that. They understand that people don't want to work with a bitch or someone who is very abrasive. Like the studies say, bastards have it much easier than bitches. I'm not here to rant about Twitter or any other social media. I am just against the general rudeness on the internet, because it affects your health negatively. And it is not worth your mental effort to quarrel over the internet over some insignificant debate or about something. It's not worth your time. And it is not good for you, neither for the person who you are talking to. So the next time you write something on the internet, just think about it. Would you say this to that person in a face-to-face interaction? If you can, then go for it. But if you wouldn't, then think about it once more. And thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Peace.